Is this what the Prime Minister meant when he tweeted that the economy is improving? Minister, Mr. Speaker, since the general election, Parliament erupts as Kemi Badenoch clashes with Keir Starmer over broken promises. You're not going to believe what just erupted in Parliament. One moment, it was just another tense exchange across the dispatch box. The next, the entire chamber was in chaos. Voices raised, MPs standing, some shouting, others stunned into silence, and right at the centre of it all, Kemi Badenoch and Keir Starmer. Welcome to Back Britain Unfold. This wasn't a minor disagreement. This was a full-scale political confrontation, the kind that exposes the deep cracks under Westminster's polished surface. Because what Badenoch unleashed wasn't just criticism. It was an accusation that cut deep not just into Starmer's policies, but into his credibility. So what actually happened? It was Wednesday's Prime Minister's Questions, one of the most watched political slots in the country. But today, all eyes weren't on the Prime Minister. They were on Business and Trade Secretary Kemi Badenoch, who stepped in to answer questions on economic development, infrastructure and foreign investment. Then it happened. Labour leader Keir Starmer pressed her on the government's failure to deliver on promised green investment zones in the north, accusing ministers of saying one thing to voters and doing the exact opposite behind closed doors. But Badenoch wasn't having it. She turned sharply towards Starmer and fired back. Loud mutters across the benches. The Speaker called for order as MPs began jeering and shouting across the aisle. One MP could be heard saying, "Withdraw that." Another shouted, "She's absolutely right." It was one of the most explosive exchanges we've seen this year, and it wasn't over. This wasn't just political theatre. This was a strategic strike. Kemi Badenoch didn't just criticise Starmer. She called him out on something many inside his own party have quietly whispered for months, that his positions shift depending on who he's talking to. Let's not forget, Starmer ran for Labour leadership on a bold progressive platform: nationalisation of key industries, an end to university tuition fees, higher taxes on the wealthy. Fast forward to today, much of that has been watered down or outright dropped. Badenoch seized on that. And more importantly, she did it live on the floor of Parliament, in front of the cameras and the country. And Starmer, he didn't interrupt, he didn't push back. He stayed seated, calm but visibly tense. That silence, again, did not go unnoticed. Reactions have been intense and immediate. Political commentators lit up social media within minutes. Sky News analyst Beth Rigby posted, "Went for the jugular today." Starmer's silence may have been strategic, but it left a vacuum, and others are filling it fast. One ex-user wrote, "Say what you will about Badenoch, but that was fearless. She said what millions are thinking. Starmer promises the world, then quietly walks it back." But not everyone saw it that way. Labour's deputy leader, Angela Rayner, hit back later in the session, calling Badenoch's comments deflection tactics, and saying, "If the Conservatives had even half the consistency they demand from others, the country wouldn't be in this mess." Still, the damage, or the impact, depending on your view, was done. The clip of the exchange was trending within the hour. Badenoch versus Starmer was the #1 political hashtag on UK Twitter by 3 p.m. The UK is heading toward a general election, possibly within the next year, and right now public trust in both major parties is razor thin. Badenoch's attack may resonate with voters not because of what she said, but how she said it. Direct, unapologetic, passionate. In a political climate where many leaders are accused of dodging questions or hiding behind spin, that kind of delivery cuts through. Meanwhile, Starmer's cautious, lawyerly approach, once seen as a strength, is now being portrayed by opponents as weakness, or worse, manipulation. And that's where things get tricky for Labour, because it's not just the Tories criticising Starmer. It's members of his own movement. Earlier this month, former Labour supporters on the left, including key figures from the Jeremy Corbyn era, began voicing their doubts again. One activist tweeted, "It's getting harder to explain what Starmer actually stands for. Today's silence won't help." Another said, "If Kemi Badenoch, of all people, is landing punches this easily, we've got a problem." This was today's important update. We want to make it clear that our videos do not contain any kind of misinformation. Our only goal is to deliver true and verified news from across the UK right here on Britain Unfold. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Britain Unfold channel. Thank you.